And we're back. Welcome back for round two. Frank Opinion took it right. I love your YouTube name. Give me a frank opinion. And look, UFC Frog is back. Woo! Frank Opinion said back for round two of this evil world we live in. You are exactly right. And this one is going to knock your socks off. There's a lot of twists and turns in this case. A lot. I have a big problem when a child isn't reported missing. Good morning, Sarah Hewlett, or afternoon. I have to get over saying good morning. What happened in New Britain, Connecticut is beyond disgusting. I mean, beyond disgusting. Now, I have gone through everything I can go through, so you guys are going to be the judge and jury. First, there's only 50 people in here. Let's go ahead and tell everybody good afternoon. All right, so Nick needs to know this is not mine. This came from a news station in Connecticut. Now I'm going to go back to the beginning as I understand it. This is Jacqueline Torres. Her father and mother are estranged. Go figure. Her mother has full custody, and she demanded that so she could get full benefits for Jacqueline, as in housing, insurance, food, stipends, all that stuff. Well, hey, Ashley, thank you for being here. Her father knew that he couldn't get a hold of Jacqueline in January of this year. So he knew he was getting the runaround. But since the state of Connecticut said it's not your business because her mother has full custody, you don't get to call anything in unless you feel there is an emergency. That's what he was told. It'd be like if I said, I haven't seen the little boy across the street in a few weeks. They'd say, well, we're not doing a will check because you have no rights to that child. Now, if I witness something, it's different. The mom had full custody. And since she had total full custody, not custodial parentship, if police called to say, is your daughter okay? She would say, yeah, she's fine. Yeah, she's fine. She's outside playing, whatever. They found her in pieces in a Rubbermaid tub. And I'm telling you something right now. If I ever come across a Rubbermaid tub just somewhere randomly, I am not going to open it. If I come across a suitcase, hiking or whatever, I am not going to open it. These laws have got to change. If somebody calls a well check visit in on a child, it needs to be done. I don't care who the person is. However, the powers that be don't see it that way. So please look at this with me.
Here at noon, developing news in New Britain. A family has identified a set of human remains discovered this week.
Okay. Mallory Parker said, how did a 12-year-old fit in that container? I am going to guess Jacqueline Torres's so-called mother had a boyfriend that could honestly do this and put her piece by piece and stuff her in there. And be strong enough to carry dead weight. Her father needs to be talking to a lot of people about the way this was handled, because parental alienation is wrong. You call your child's mother. Within a couple of hours, you better hear your child's voice. You better not hear, they're busy. We don't want to talk to you. You're such an asshole. You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. You haven't sent one dime. Are you kidding me? You haven't done one thing. Doesn't work that way. It's about the children. It's always been about the children. It's always been about the children.
As a 12-year-old girl. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on Eyewitness News. I'm Caitlin Nuklo. We want to get right to that developing news. That young girl's remains were found in a container on Wednesday outside of an abandoned home on Clark Street. And that's where we find your reporter, Dylan Fearon, live. So, Dylan, what have you learned?
Well, Caitlin, the victim is 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres. Her father confirmed that to Channel 3 this morning. And Jacqueline's father told us today that he hadn't seen or spoken to his daughter since at least January 29th, which was Jacqueline's 12th birthday. So her father told us this morning that he's tried to get a hold of her, tried to speak to her, tried to see her, but hadn't since at least January. So her father fears that Jacqueline may have been dead potentially for several months.
Okay, that's her father. I do not know her cause of death. I can guess. Sounds to me like there was a boyfriend in the home and somebody was covering something up. Hey, Gaelic, what up? Her father was very much a presence in her life, but suddenly was shut out. I'm just guessing, okay? I'm just guessing. It has to do with a new pogo stick. Either way, her father, probably, who is married and he works very hard, should have been allowed the opportunity to raise his daughter without her showing up cut into pieces in a Rubbermaid tub. The problem is, it's called Babies for Benefits. All right? So if someone is using a child as a pawn to keep a parent away, it's to get more and more and more and more. This situation is going to get worse before it gets better. You will see. Trust me, you're in good hands. And the reason, you're going to ask me, okay, there's always a woulda, coulda, shoulda, whatever, break down the door. We all know in America that doesn't happen. You've never done it. I've never done it. No one is going to break down a door. We say it. We say, well, I'd break down their door. Well, I would do this if that was my kid. Well, if it's your child and you have legal rights to your child, absolutely you can. The breakdown in, I'm not saying society, the breakdown in morality in the last 20 years is disgusting. There are people that excuse pedophilia. There are people that think children are disposable. There are people that think if a girl is raped, she asks for it. There's a lot of things that the breakdown in morality has happened. I blame part of it on the schools and what they teach, the indoctrination. Because if someone goes to school, let's say, and they have sex ed, and they're told a child is just a clump of cells, and they think, well, whatever, who cares? How do they differentiate that in their mind between a walking, talking human and a baby in the womb? It is just disgusting. When a parent is alienated, it means something is going on that the other parent is hiding. And these people that alienate a parent, it's because they're hiding something. Every fucking time.
January. So her father fears that Jacqueline may have been dead potentially for several months. Now, of course, police will have to confirm that, but investigators are working around the clock to piece everything together to determine a timeline leading up to Wednesday's discovery. Right now, the memorial outside the abandoned home where Jacqueline's remains were found is growing, and of course, neighbors and friends are shocked right now.
Because this was a small child. You don't do that to a child that's coming into this life and learning. Who knows if he's going to be a lawyer or a president? You know, you don't know what this person, this child had in mind.
We have less children on this planet than we've ever had. Please let that sink in. 300,000 babies were aborted last year. 300,000. And don't get me going on how many were murdered outside the womb. And yes, it's murder. I am never going to judge a woman that says, I'm not going to relive this rape every day and I don't want to have this baby. I will never judge that. I will never judge someone that says, this is my 11-year-old daughter and I do not want her body torn up forever to where she can never have a baby again. Okay, that's between them and God. But we have a society now that seems to believe, and I don't mean V. Oakley, I don't mean Rexy, I don't mean Gaelic, I don't mean Mallory, I don't mean Frank, I don't mean Angel P, I don't mean Susan, that seems to think it's quite okay. Kids are disposable. Children between the age of 15 and under are the lowest population on our planet right now. Why, you ask? Why, you ask? Because of abortions and people killing them. That is the truth, my friends. Fact check it. And if you want to tell me something different, I would be glad to hear it. Auntie Sherry said, I know nothing about this. Oh, you're going to learn real quick.
Do that to a child that's coming into this life and learning. Who knows if he's going to be a lawyer or a president? You know, you don't know what this person, this child had in mind. Why take her life away like that and then throw her away like you're garbage? You're not worth a dime. No, you don't do that to a human being.
You think her daddy that just gave her that birthday party didn't want her to live? Absolutely not.
And Caitlin, some more friends and family here right now playing music. Jacqueline's nickname was Mimi. You can see written on one of the wooden boards there, R.I.P. Mimi. Tio loves you. Her uncle loves her. Caitlin, right now we are waiting to hear back from the medical examiner's office as an autopsy on Jacqueline's remains are being conducted. We're also waiting for an update from the New Britain Police Department to see if an arrest or potentially multiple arrests in this case are made. We'll keep everybody updated on air and, of course, on the Channel 3 app. I'm your reporter live in New Britain today, Dylan Fear, Channel 3.
You know, and how dare someone not make a leap and believe Jacqueline's father and say, okay, I'm going to go check it out, and not sit there on their lazy deputy ass and say, no, her mother has full custody. She was found in an abandoned house, cut into pieces in a Rubbermaid tub. Okay? In a Rubbermaid tub. Her father had been communicating with her mother for months. Where is Jackie? Where is Jackie? He called her Mimi. Where is Mimi? Where is Mimi? Where is Mimi? She's outside. You have no rights. You have no rights. You have no rights. It was one thing after another. You know, the devil is dancing every day. The devil loves our morality right now. And I don't mean Ivy's mom. I don't mean Mallory's. I don't mean Auntie Sherry's. I don't mean Stacy's. I don't mean Just Me's. I don't mean anyone in here. He's loving our morality. He's loving it. He's loving how kids are being raised. I'm telling you, he is happy as a pig in shit. Loving it. All right, let's look at this.
Relatives ID girl whose remains found behind vacant New Britain house. This article is being read by an automated voice generated by Everlit. New Britain. Relatives of the girl whose remains were found behind a boarded-up house last week have identified her as Jacqueline Torres. An autopsy was being done on remains of a person by that name, according to the State Office of Chief Medical Examiner. An agency representative said Sunday that the cause and manner of death were pending further studies. New Britain City and police representatives have not confirmed the name of the adolescent girl whose remains were discovered outside the vacant house on Clark Street Wednesday. Mourners have been gathering outside the house to remember the girl known as Mimi. She's beautiful, she's amazing, we love her and we miss her, a woman who identified herself as a relative said Friday. A memorial made up of more than 100 candles and bunches of pink and white balloons sat in front of the abandoned house, where a city official said the remains.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Oh, shut the fuck up. I do like Gain, but come on.
Talking
about Gain Super Flings. Super Supersized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the oxy cleaning power.
Yeah, check out Gaines Super Fling. Goodness. Hold on. Sherry said, Brooks, I won't be here Wednesday since I have 2 doctor's appointments. I'd rather be here. We're going to miss you, baby.
And 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Were found in a large container in the backyard. New Britain police said the investigation has widened beyond the city's borders. Based on additional information we have received over the last several hours, we are now coordinating our efforts with additional local law enforcement agencies within the central Connecticut area, police said. Delicate investigations of this nature often take twists and turns, which is why it is so important that we do not say anything until we have all of the facts that have been corroborated by all law enforcement agencies actively working on a case like this. Farmington Police said they are involved in the investigation with New Britain Police and state officials, but did not provide more information. New Britain officers found the remains around 1 p.m. Wednesday after being called to the property to investigate a report of suspicious behavior, city spokesperson Rachel Zanieski said. Connecticut State Police also responded to the scene after city police obtained a search warrant, Zanieski said.
Okay, so here's just a little bit of data for you. I'm going to call it breaking news. Okay, I love using the breaking news. Okay, from the Crime Lines and Lies news desk, you know you get everything here. How many children under the age of 18 are in the U.S. right now? You can see it up here. 73.3 million children under the age of 18. Now, that's as of 2023. Okay? Which is insane. Insane. Due to murders, due to shootings, due to abortions, due to all of that. Take a guess how many adults are here. Just take a guess before I put it up. Take a guess. Bobby Ray said that's a lot. Actually, no. No. It needs, no, it's not. Take a guess how many adults are here. 258.5 million adults in the U.S. The adult rate has grown as a faster rate than the total population, a trend that has been occurring since 2022. Now, we know that happened because of, our border being opened. Okay, we understand that. Children are an endangered species. That is the truth. It should never be flip-flopped, okay? There should never be grandma, grandpa, and not 4 or 5 grandkids. That's not the way it works. It doesn't work that way, I'm sorry. It just does not work that way.
Year-old girl in New Britain whose remains were found earlier this week. We want to thank you for joining us on Eyewitness News. I'm Brian Shackman.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Simone. A really tough news day today. Police say they're working around the clock, piecing together this timeline leading up to the girl's remains being discovered in a container in the backyard of an abandoned home. Investigators are not saying much right now, but asking for the public's patience.
Yeah, your reporter Dylan Fearon live outside the home on Clark Street after receiving some new information from the girl's father. Dylan.
Well, Brian, Stephanie, the victim is 12-year-old Jacqueline Torres. Jacqueline's father confirmed that for us this morning. Her nickname was Mimi, and Jacqueline's friends, family, people in this.
Okay, this is the abandoned house where she was found, where someone dismembered her and put her in a Rubbermaid tub and left her at this abandoned house in New Britain, Connecticut. Well, Sailor, I think you just got the comment of the day. You would think with that much adults, children would be protected. Can we all give a huge round of applause to Sailor? My goodness, great job.
Jacqueline Torres. Jacqueline's father confirmed that for us this morning. Her nickname was Mimi, and Jacqueline's friends, family, people in this New Britain neighborhood paying their respects right now, leaving balloons and candles and notes. At the same time, they want answers and accountability. The memorial for Jacqueline Torres continues to grow. Edwin and Liza Soto are lighting a pink candle in her honor.
It's heartbreaking. It's a little girl. Like, she didn't deserve that. You know, it hit close to home.
Police are investigating, but patience is limited. The neighborhood wondering, how did a 12-year-old girl end up in a container behind an abandoned home?
Yeah, do tell. How did a little girl wind up in a Rubbermaid container? Actually, it's a Sterlite container and left at an abandoned house. Now, her mom is in custody. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but they're going to find someone else. They're going to find a boyfriend. Okay? They're going to find a boyfriend. And this place where the Sterlite container was left, it's like a Rubbermaid, you know, where they found her, has been dilapidated for years. And these cities, especially in Connecticut, my goodness, they have more money than God's daddy. They could have easily have cleaned this up. These abandoned places are so disgusting. You don't even know what's going on there. You got homeless people in there having soup kitchens when they need to be in a mental health institution. Hold on. Nicey has a question. So her friends have not seen the 12-year-old for a while. Seems to me they would have spoke up. Was she going? Nope, she was going to school. So I do not know. That's a great question. I do not know what her mother was telling everyone. I do not know. She could have easily said, kind of like Adam and Kayla Montgomery, that Jacqueline was with someone else. She could have been easily doing that. Not all the information is out. Hey, PG little girl, we don't know everything. The only thing I do know is that they were not going to do a well check visit because the mom said some things that the dad was abusive and didn't want him around. And since legally she had 100% full custody, they didn't mess with it. So on the other side, on the school side, I'm just going to guess that she said they moved and got checked into another school, or that she was with the dad. You know, due diligence when you're on law enforcement is very important, but not everyone does their 100% job. Okay? But wait till you get a load of the mom.
Multiple members of Jacqueline's family, including her own father, tell Channel 3 they hadn't seen or spoken to Jacqueline for months. Her father, Victor Torres, says he didn't have custody of his daughter and he couldn't get a hold of her since at least January. Jacqueline's family is confident she was killed and her body dumped in a large container, a victim of shocking violence. They just don't know when. Police will need to confirm everything, but investigators haven't revealed much yet.
Why take her life away like that and then throw her away like you're garbage, you're not worth a dime? No, you don't do that to a human being.
The medical examiner's office says Jacqueline's autopsy results are pending further studies. Additional lab tests may be needed, prolonging an official cause of Jacqueline's death.
We shed tears at work last night, so we had to come out and show our respect for this family that's hurting.
Beautiful child, and just taken away just like that. Justice has to pay. They have to pay for what they did. This is a crime that it's going to be here in Britain. Everybody's going to remember this.
Now, police also say they're working with other law enforcement agencies around central Connecticut. So it's possible, Brian and Stephanie, this investigation extends outside of New Britain. We also know there will be a vigil for Jacqueline tomorrow night here at 5:30.
Now, I'm going to say something horrible, and please cross your fingers and promise to me you're not going to get mad at me, okay? Before I go forward, please put a 1 in chat if you promise not to get mad at me about the reason I believe she was not looked for. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, I'll go for that. Well, it's because Connecticut has always been a very white Anglo-Saxon community, and they have always wanted to keep their state to themselves. And when many people started moving across the border, I would say, well, in 2022, Connecticut was not going to deal with them. When I say them, I mean people of a different color. People that are brown, people that speak a different language, things like that. So basically, what happened is they were like, well, no, the law says she has full custody. What they didn't understand is the Torres family was actually, well, Victor was born in this country. Okay, he had every right for them to get off their ass and go check. So there's no more things as Puritans in New England. There's no more thing like that. All right? So you have a job to do. You have a badge. You took an oath. So when you get a call saying, I need someone to check on my daughter because I haven't talked to her since January, all you have to do is get in your patrol car and go and you make contact with the daughter. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Because she's a different color doesn't mean you don't care. And that is my opinion. It should not matter. I believe, again, my opinion, that the reason they didn't react is because of the neighborhood, that the people in New Britain, Connecticut wanted the Hispanic community out and could have cared less. Could have cared less. So what they would do is latch on to, well, she has full custody. We can't impede her rights. Now, how would he know? How would Victor know the difference? He knows he can't go to the house because he had a child with a crazy bitch. If he breaks down the door and he sees Jacqueline laying on the couch playing a Game Boy, he's going to go to jail and lose everything. So the gamble usually never works because the bad deed has always been done. All right? When you have an inkling something's wrong, the wrong has always been done before. I hate to say it. So the woulda, coulda, shoulda is only if you have a crystal ball or you have some sort of like Minority Report thing going on and you can see in the future when something bad's going to happen. This should have never happened to Jacqueline and should not have happened to her father. But get a load of her mama. Okay, so this is when people were chasing her mom down the street. Okay, when she was getting arrested on October 8th, which is last Wednesday.
You running like you hiding. I don't care. You running like you hiding something. You running like you hiding something. That where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is my niece? Carla, where's the girls? Fuck out of here, you deadbeat ass bitch. Fuck you, bitch. What? Don't touch anything. Salte de ahí. Hang out here.
Woo! Woo! She's mad. Woo! She's mad.
I don't care. You running like you hiding something. Salte. You running like you hiding something. That where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is?
Put your fucking stomach up, mama. You have been hiding this secret for months and months and months and months. Where's your boyfriend? Because I can tell you right now, you didn't do this yourself. And the only way I can put together why police didn't respond to phone calls is socioeconomics. They didn't really care. They leaned on one side of the law saying she has full custody, not your business. Had it been a white girl that had not been seen in months, they would have been right on it.
My niece. Where the fuck is my niece? Carla, where's the girls? Fuck out of here, you deadbeat ass bitch. Fuck you, bitch. What? Don't touch anything. Salte de ahí. Hang out here. Sorry. That's my phone, I think. Oh no. Get her out the car. She was running. So why you were running? We've been chasing you for like 20 minutes.
She was only 12, a little girl who loved to laugh, who had her whole life ahead of her. And yet, one cold October evening in New Britain, Connecticut, that life came to a stop. And no one saw it coming. No one believed it could end this way. But when police opened that sealed container behind an abandoned house on Clark Street, the silence that had haunted her father for months finally broke, and what it revealed was every parent's worst nightmare. Her name was Jacqueline Torres. Everyone called her Mimi. She had just turned 12 in January 2025. Bright, playful, a little shy, until she warmed up. She loved drawing, dancing, and playing with her cousins. She lived in New Britain with her mother, who had legal custody. Her father, Victor Torres, stayed involved, calling, visiting, checking in whenever he could. He adored her, but in early 2025, something changed. He said the calls stopped going through. No texts, no video calls, nothing. At first, he thought maybe she was grounded or had a new phone. Weeks went by, then months. Still silence. Victor told local reporters he knew deep down something was wrong. January turned to February, then March. Still, no one could tell him where his daughter was. He said, "I kept calling. I just wanted to hear her voice again." Neighbors remembered seeing Mimi earlier that winter, a cheerful girl walking to school with her backpack, sometimes waving to them. But as months passed, no one saw her again. Her laughter faded from the neighborhood, and the silence, it became heavy. Then came October 8, 2025. It started as just another Wednesday in New Britain. Gray skies, light drizzle, the kind of day where nothing much happens. But on Clark Street, something unusual caught a neighbor's attention. They noticed people near an old, vacant property, one that had been boarded up for years. Something about it didn't feel right. They called police. When officers arrived, they checked the property. Inside the fence line, they noticed a large sealed container, tucked behind the house. It looked out of place. They moved closer, and when they opened it, everything changed. Inside were human remains. Detectives immediately sealed off the scene.
Yeah. My understanding is, from what I heard, is when the container, someone came across it, they had the assumption it was a dead dog, because no one like Gaelic Girl, Flundisky Sailor, Kimberly Mann, Mallory is a anthropologic forensic scientist. We don't know the difference, and we're not going to assume it's a child that's never been reported missing. Remember, Jacqueline was never reported missing. Okay, this is what you call a neighborhood the police don't care about. So even when the smell was insane, the police wouldn't do anything. Let me try to call my husband. Let's see if he answers. He loves when I call him.
Hello?
Hey, I'm talking about this case out of Connecticut. And why do you think the police didn't do anything in New Britain when people were complaining about the smell from that abandoned house? And when Victor Torres kept calling saying he couldn't find his daughter?
I don't know.
I'm just going to assume because she's black. Not black, but she's of a different skin tone.
It's feasible.
Okay. Kimberly Mann just said, hey, DT driver. Hell, I can tell you about my police. I couldn't find OJ, and they said, when I get some relief around here, I'll come by and help you find your cat. I'm like, maybe because I have a sexy voice. I don't know. But most of the time, police are very helpful, but they didn't want to have anything to do with Victor Torres. And when people complained about the stank coming out of the abandoned house, they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't do one thing.
Not a good look.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. All right, let me get back to the show. Just getting your opinion.
All right, I love you. Have a good day. Good job.
My goodness.
Crime scene tape, floodlights. The medical examiner's van arrived. The whole neighborhood went silent. No one knew who it was, but everyone felt the chill of what might be true. By Friday, authorities confirmed what many feared. The remains belonged to Jacqueline Mimi Torres, age 12. Her father received the call he had prayed would never come. He said, "I just wanted her home. I just wanted to hear her voice again." News spread across New Britain within hours. People gathered outside the abandoned house on Clark Street. They brought candles, flowers, balloons. Some prayed out loud. Others stood in silence, unable to find words. Children placed drawings and notes by the fence. "We love you, Mimi. Fly high, beautiful girl." What had been a forgotten lot became a sea of light and tears.
I don't care. You running like you hiding something. Salte. You running like you hiding something. Where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is my niece?
Oh, she's going to kick her ass. Oh, she is. I'm telling you, that chick is furious. Sorry, I have to plug my computer back in. OJ unplugged it. That's okay. It is live TV. And remember, this is basically about, from my understanding, about a half a mile from her mother's house. I just do not believe that her fat ass mama did all this and carried her down the road and put her at the abandoned house. And when I say dead weight, I'm talking heavier than cement blocks. Okay? There is a boyfriend involved here somewhere. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I have an idea who it is.
Balloons. Some prayed out loud. Others stood in silence, unable to find words. Children placed drawings and notes by the fence. "We love you, Mimi. Fly high, beautiful girl." What had been a forgotten lot became a sea of light and tears.
I don't care. You running like you hiding something. Salte. You running like you hiding something. Where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is my niece?
Meanwhile, police confirmed they had detained Mimi's mother for questioning. She had legal custody, and investigators said they needed to speak with her about the timeline. Video.
Fuck her legal custody. Plead the fifth. Oh, Jacqueline Torres was found cut up in a container. This is her mother. This is her mother. Rexy said, "I hate these AI voices." Oh, I do too. Nothing I can do about it. I think I'm going to get me one. I want to sound like Demi Moore. I've always thought she had a very sexy voice.
I don't care. You running like you hiding something. Salte. You running like you hiding something. Where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is my niece? Where the fuck is my niece?
Meanwhile, police confirmed they had detained Mimi's mother for questioning. She had legal custody, and investigators said they needed to speak with her about the timeline. Video from local news showed her being escorted by officers shortly after the discovery. At the time, no formal charges had been announced, but the investigation was active and ongoing. Authorities from New Britain Police, Farmington Police, and the Connecticut State Police Major Crime Division joined efforts with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The goal was clear: find out how, when, and why this happened, and who was responsible. For Victor Torres, those questions echo every night. How could a child vanish for months, unnoticed? How did no one realize something was wrong sooner? And why didn't anyone tell him what was happening? He said to reporters, "I kept calling. No one answered. I felt something was wrong, but I couldn't reach her." His words hit like a plea not just for his daughter, but for every parent still waiting for answers.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't think her mom did this all herself. I have a feeling. No, I can't prove it. No, I can't prove it. That had they done the well check visit in January, this would have been done sooner than later. Okay? The mom has been detained. I haven't found, well, I can probably find something saying she's been arrested. Different articles use different terminology. You know, when your child and you're the primary parent and you didn't report them missing, it is common sense when they find your child in pieces in a Rubbermaid tub and you haven't said shit or shinola about your child being missing, yeah, they're going to look at you. And there is no reason in the world they shouldn't detain or arrest you. But they need to find out who helped her. Because this fat ass did not do this by herself. No. No, no, no. No. When you are their mother and you're the only person that's been around that child and they are found in a horrible condition and in a Rubbermaid container, damn Skippy, they're going to grab your ass and put you in jail. For obvious reasons. And I promise you right now, today is October 13th. They have a lot of work to do to find out where Jacqueline was killed, where she was taken to be dismembered, where the container came from. Listen, this is not a microwave meal. This didn't happen in 30 minutes. I posted this a couple of days ago and people asked me, well, why on earth would they arrest her mom? Why not the dad? And I'm like, fuck you talking about? He hasn't seen her. This is 2025, okay? They know who talks to who. They know who talks to who.
Community responded. Hundreds came together for a vigil on Clark Street. Pink and white balloons floated into the air. Fireworks lit the sky, a small gesture of light for a life lost too soon. People cried, hugged, prayed. The words on everyone's lips were the same. Justice for Mimi. If you believe every child deserves to be safe and heard, please subscribe and follow this story, because silence only ends when people speak up. The New Britain Knock released a statement.
Thank you so much, Plead the Fifth. I can't see how the mom did this alone. I do not see how the mother did this alone. Auntie Sherry said, I'm being gross. Did the body show? I don't know anything about that. No, nothing. I know nothing about that. Nothing. They're giving very few details. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, we do. Hang on. Okay, I'll put this up. Give me a second. I will put this up. This comes straight from Eyewitness News 3, which is not me. And they want us to buy a facial steamer, iconic face steamer for home. Okay, that's right. I already bought one of those for Ange. Let's look at this first.
In real estate, everything is in the details. Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant helps me confidently manage contracts so I can keep all parties on the same page. With AI Assistant, I can summarize key details in seconds. It even identifies differences in contracts. And my clients, they can go straight to Adobe Acrobat and sign right there. Adobe Acrobat and AI Assistant help me focus on what really matters, helping people find a place that they can call home.
And back here at home, we also have some breaking news. We've just learned there will now be a news conference today at 2:30 where we expect to learn some more information from police in Farmington and New Britain about the 12-year-old girl whose remains were found outside of an abandoned building in New Britain. Her name, Jacqueline Torres. This is a mystery where hundreds of people have been mourning the loss, and this was many people in nearby schools were very upset to learn it was one of their own. We're waiting to learn more information about what happened to Jacqueline Torres. We'll bring you that news conference streaming live on WFSB Plus at 2:30.
Well, they didn't put it live. They didn't put it live. I mean, people were screaming at her. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible situation. Okay? It's a horrible situation. Lisa Durr said a neighbor can call in a wellness check, but a father can't. Think about what the hell is wrong with that state. No neighbor did. No neighbor noticed anything wrong. And I will bring the press conference as soon as it is live. Okay?
soon after. They called the case a tragedy that has shaken the city to its core. They urged transparency, urgency, and accountability in the investigation. They reminded the city that the safety of children must always come first. Their message was clear. We stand ready to support efforts that ensure justice is served and that no family endures such pain without answers. They also pledged to continue rebuilding trust through education, advocacy, and community healing. Because this wasn't just about one child. It was about every child in New Britain. The investigation continues quietly behind the scenes. Detectives comb through phone records, interviews, timelines. Forensic experts work to confirm exactly how long Mimi had been gone and what happened before her death. Neighbors told police that the abandoned property sometimes attracted squatters. Some said they had seen strange activity in the weeks before the discovery. Shadows moving in and out late at night, doors left open, trash piling up. But no one imagined that behind the fence lay a secret no one should ever have to find. In the aftermath, grief has united the city. Local schools offered counseling for students who knew Mimi. Churches opened their doors for prayer services. And strangers, people who never met her, brought toys, cards, and messages of hope to the growing memorial. A child's pink jacket now hangs from the fence, a symbol, a reminder that her story can't be forgotten. When you look at that fence line on Clark Street, it's quiet now, but it's not the kind of quiet that brings peace. It's the kind that asks questions and refuses to let go. Who failed her? Who knew something? And how long will justice take? The hardest part for her father isn't just knowing what happened, it's knowing how long she was gone before anyone found out. He said, "I just wish someone had checked sooner. Maybe things could have been different." You can feel the ache in his words. A father's love, trapped between heartbreak and hope. And behind that, a city demanding answers. Not later, but now. Police continue their work carefully. Every step must be confirmed.
Okay, plead the fifth said, I guess I just don't understand how something like this could happen. I can't wrap my head around it. I agree. And the news conference is in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. And I have a feeling, just a tad bit of a feeling, before I blew her mother out of the water, that they might have a different person in mind. Okay, it's 2:30 their time. It's 1 o'clock here. Well, 1:08.
Piece of evidence handled right. Because once justice comes, it must stand. The autopsy results will determine the cause and manner of death. The findings will guide what comes next. For now, officials say patience is key. But that's a hard thing to ask from a grieving community. Still, people wait. They pray. They keep saying her name, Mimi, like it's a promise not to forget. This story isn't just about one family's pain. It's about what it means to protect our children and what happens when systems fail. How does a 12-year-old disappear without the world noticing? How does it take months before the truth comes out? And how do we make sure it never happens again? Mimi's story now lives in the hearts of everyone who heard it. It's in the drawings pinned to that fence. It's in the tears of her classmates. It's in the determination of a father who refuses to stop asking questions. She may be gone, but she changed something. She reminded a city to care again. So, what happens next? The investigation continues. Her mother remains under scrutiny as detectives work through evidence and statements. Community leaders continue pushing for updates and for justice done openly and fairly. And for those who knew her, her light stays alive. Because even in tragedy, remembrance can become strength. Jacqueline Mimi Torres was just 12. She should have had a future filled with birthdays, laughter, and dream.
Okay, Victor said, yes, police confirmed it was my child. Yes, they admitted to me that both Carla and Jonathan are responsible for her death. In my eyes, everyone in her circle as well. And yes, DCF granted her full custody, knowing I was a better fit parent and she never had a pot to piss on. No, they have not been arrested or charged after admitting to everything and blaming each other. Yes, DCF allowed my other daughter to speak to Carla yesterday. Yeah, just here for the news, and that's a problem with this world. Now, let me be doing everything in my power to bring my other daughter home and make sure they all pay. Woo! Jonathan is, I'm just going to assume the boyfriend. Yeah. I mean, this is hell on wheels. Now, I just read that the press conference is not going to be live. But this is something else. Victor Torres. Police confirmed my child. Yes, they admitted to me that both Carla and Jonathan are responsible for her death. And in my eyes, everyone in her circle as well. And yes, DCF granted her full custody, knowing I was a better fit parent and she never had a pot to piss on. No, they have not been arrested or charged after admitting to everything and blaming each other. Yes, DCF allowed my other daughter to speak to Carla yesterday. Yeah, just here for the news, and that's the problem with this world now. Woo! Woo!
Investigation continues. Her mother remains under scrutiny as detectives work through evidence and statements. Community leaders continue pushing for updates and for justice done openly and fairly. And for those who knew her, her light stays alive. Because even in tragedy, remembrance can become strength. Jacqueline Mimi Torres was just 12. She should have had a future filled with.
Okay, Victor said the fact they are allowing her, as in Carla, visits with the rest of the kids is sickening. Someone help me do something about this. Damn. Give me a second. Oh, he's big pissed. Oh, he's big pissed. Okay, this is Victor's Facebook. If a dog can be put to sleep for hurting a child, so should Carla. I don't know this man, but I've heard every word he's spoken. His energy is very positive. Okay, that's fine. That's one thing. Fly High Princess. Let's see what this is.
En esas madres que no merecen llamarse así, porque hay ángeles que nunca debieron sufrir. Este rap va pa' ti, Mimi, una princesa que apenas empezaba a vivir. ¿Qué le pasa a esa madre que no siente ni el alma, que apaga una sonrisa?
I don't know Spanish. Okay. You know, Let's see if Carla's his friend on Facebook. Let's see. No results for Carla. Okay. Let's look at this. These are public. Yep, he does auto repairs. He's a mechanic. Okay. Well, what to do? Angel P said, there goes your business, dude. Actually, his business is going to quadruple. People are going to want everyone's tires done there. Oh, Mama Sita said, sneaking on my break, song talks about a woman who should have never been a mother. Back to work. I did not know. I don't know Spanish. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you all want to listen to the song?
With birthdays, laughter, and dreams. Instead, her name became a call for justice. But her story doesn't have to end here. It can be the reason someone speaks up next time. It can be the reason a community checks in, asks questions, and refuses to ignore the signs. Because silence is dangerous. And truth, no matter how painful, is the only way forward. So, if you're watching this, take a moment. Say her name, share her story, and remember what her father said. I just wanted to hear her voice again. May we all listen before it's too late. Rest in peace, Jacqueline Mimi Torres. Justice must come. If you want to follow updates on Mimi's case and support stories that seek justice and awareness, subscribe, share, and...
Well, I'm going to get a hold of Victor and see if he wants to come on the show. Would you all be... OJ, quit. Would you all be interested in hearing from Victor? I don't want to bother him. If he's willing to come up, then I would like to hear from him because he has a lot to say. Miss North. No, you have to rewind. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. No. Jacqueline was found in an abandoned house. So I'm going to send some messages to Jacqueline's father and see if he would be available to come on the show. Now, the press conference is in about 15 minutes, but it won't be live. If it's live, I will be back live. Okay? Mark my words. If it's live, I'll be live. So just give me a few minutes, and I really want to support this man. I think he's going through hell in a handbasket. Okay? You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for being here for cases that YouTube says don't matter, but we think they matter, correct? 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 Absolutely. That's what we're doing here. So I will see you back here maybe in 10 minutes, or no, maybe, you're going to see me tomorrow at 9 a.m. either way. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here for Jacqueline. You're the best. Love you.